Hiya, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Michelle, and the YouTube channel, in case you hadn't noticed, is called Just Us and the Van. So Just Us is myself, my daughter Grace, who's 13, and our two dogs, one of which you can see sitting behind me, Tommy, and the other one called Reggie. So we're new to motorhoming. However, we're not new to being on the road. When Grace was about, I think 5 or 6, we bought our first caravan. And the whole idea of that was to spend as much time together out and about, being quite relaxed, on the road. The caravan was old when we bought it, and it was a 1996 Bailey's Majestic Pageant 2-berth, and it was just us, and we had loads of fun, constantly doing running repairs on it and fixing it to the point where it was just shot to bits. We've been saying for a number of years that we were going to buy a motorhome, and that would give us more ability to be able to go abroad with a motorhome and stuff like that than the caravan, because we couldn't trust the caravan to make it to the end of the road, let alone to a different country. So earlier this year we were down in North Devon doing a bit of surfing. We had to drive to Stowford Leisure to get a new emergency brake for our caravan, standard, because something had broken. And we saw a sign as we drove past saying £1,000 for any caravan in part exchange. So my caravan was not worth £1,000. So I went in, asked them if they were sure, and they said yes. And I said, "Are you sure on any?" And they said yes. So I said, "Right, okay, let's have a look." We'd sort of been looking online, and I'd seen, coincidentally, that they had a Chasson, a 6-berth Chasson, 2009 Chasson there, and it was absolutely lovely. So we had a look at that and we fell in love. It had 2 bunk beds at the end. The space was really good for us, and it seemed the perfect van for us, because Reg is, here we go, let me turn this round. No, Reg is quite a big boy, as you can see, so we needed as much space as possible in order to be comfortable. But and I've got a C+E license, so that wasn't an issue driving it, although it comes under a normal standard car license anyway, so it was fine. Anyway, heart set on it, we did the deal. And it felt we left the caravan down there, and it felt very strange leaving the caravan and driving home. We drove home, and a couple of weeks later our new motorhome was ready, so we went down and picked it up. Now, because the Chasson was a little bit older, and not obviously it was new to us but old, I needed a few jobs doing on it. So I bought a wheel brace and parked it outside the house just while I reupholstered things, got everything stowed properly. We did our first run-ins, and we got used to the motorhome as well. Anyway, I just finished doing everything on it. Everything was great. We'd had our first weekend away. We'd had our first prang in it even. Everything was great. Walked out one morning and motorhome gone, just disappeared. They'd had it away in under 9 minutes, so they were quick. I then rang the police, spent half the day trying to report it to the police, and finally got through to them, got a crime reference number, and then got through to the insurance company. Now, this was the bit that I was absolutely dreading, because obviously we'd got a bit of finance on it, although we'd part exchanged as well. And I was a bit worried about where it would, take me. I had shopped around a bit, and I'd gone with the Caravan and Motorhome Club Insurance, who is underwritten by Allianz. Rang them and they were absolutely brilliant. I spoke to a person who was so kind, incredibly kind, talked me through everything, because it was a new situation to me, and made me feel very at ease, and I stopped worrying. I felt very safe in their hands. Within the first week, I got a cheque to cover the contents, and then halfway through the second week they wrote it off and sent me the full market value for what I'd paid for the motorhome, and it was done. And of course then we had to go shopping, and trying to replace everything that you had in your motorhome is really hard, because a lot of stuff you forget, and some stuff you just can't replace because you've got it, you've modified it, and it's just something that you've always had. So that's where we are at the moment. About a month ago, we went down to, we looked online, and I found another motorhome, a 2015 Roller Team Autoroller 707. So another 6-berth, 2 bunk beds at the end, and a drop down bed. So slightly different configuration, kitchen's in a different place, bathroom wasn't as big as the Chasson. It's in storage at the moment, but I will show you it and we'll do a tour around it. But I just wanted to tell you the story so far, what we were about, and how I've gone about setting up my motorhome. And also I want to make a recording of the stuff that we get up to, the adventures that we have, the fun that we have, and also like the problems that we encounter along the way and how we get through them. Because I don't know about you, I've gone through a lot of videos, a lot of posts, a lot of blogs, but sometimes what I want to know is, how do people set them up? Like, you know, tips and tricks, what works, what doesn't work, what's good, what's bad, like what would work for me won't necessarily work for someone else. So, you know, I'm just a normal woman, working woman, busy career with a daughter and 2 dogs. So a lot of stuff I do on my own, although I try and get my daughter to help. But money's not, you know, not infinite. So I need to be cost conscious all the time. But I really want to share the lessons that I learn, and hopefully I'll learn some from you.